to this computer. I'm assuming I'm not screen sharing again.
No, mate.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this all week.
Popcorn and everything.
Right, so I'm assuming you guys can see my screen now.
We can.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Obviously you see before, hopefully, that I just minimized the screen, went back, so I've got no prior chart lines or out going on. So what day are we on here? Tuesday. Good day for it. So obviously blank chart. So I'd generally start off looking at the hires. So I'll probably just pop on the 2 hour and just see what price is sort of reaching around here. Obviously at the minute, this looks to be downtrending here. But obviously I want to make sure if what's going on to the left to see if it's going to be a reversal point. So we've got equal lows here. So straight away, I would assume that this Asia session that gets created next will target. So that's 2. So yeah, I would assume that price will come down here. So depending on how the Asia session is created from this point, I would be thinking sells more than anything. So I'll just drop down so I don't fly through the times. I'll tell you what, I'll do a line. 7. This one I play to there. So play some candles. So yeah, sorry, that'll be there. So generally I'd be coming on the chart at this point. Because I'm sort of expected price to come and take this liquidity. Obviously, generally I'd be looking for sells at this point. So from here, I'd be coming on the charts, looking for imbalances and things to the left, but higher, obviously, just so we can fill an imbalance or take liquidity and fill an imbalance or something in here to then sort of like sell from. So from here, I'd be dropping to the seconds more than likely and just spending a bit of time just trying to find these real nice little imbalances. So level line across from this point here just takes me across here. Obviously you see that it's got some nice imbalances forming as well. So from here, just looking for nice big imbalance fills. So straight away you've got this one here. There's a lovely little imbalance. Well, say lovely decent one. And then just keep working away up until we start marking a few that I might like. Equal highs here, so I'll definitely be looking for it to come higher. Put that there. Like I said before, boys, if there's any questions, please fire them away. I'll do my best to answer what I can. Just line up. So yeah. This might seem dead boring at the minute, but it's just what I'm doing. It seems to be working, so I'll flip back to the 5 minutes just to make sure I don't want to be going too high to search everything. But, obviously we've got this decent chunk up here as well, but for now I'll mark them. I'd love it if obviously if it come and filled this imbalance here and then started to do a 1 minute change of character, but we've got a few imbalances to look at to be filled anyway, so I'll play it from there, and if it goes above them, I'll carry on looking, and but I'm hoping that we'll get a successful trade at some point on the live. Obviously, this one might have been a no trade day, but if we can get through a couple of sessions, I'm hoping we'll catch something. Just gonna take them loads out now, innit? Thought as much. Keep going.
What are them 3 lines at the minute that keep altering with the trade, Lee?
What are these ones here?
You've got the blue rectangle following the trade, and there's obviously the middle
Oh,
line, top line.
Yeah, that's just the Asian session, mate. So obviously it starts at 11 and it'll finish at 7, so it'll
Right.
finish.
Okay.
And it's just
Sound.
the middle of, mate. It's nothing special, mate. Unfortunately. Yeah, that's it, mate. It's just the Asian session, just to identify a time of the night for me. I think that's just out the Asian session, yeah. Same again, guys. I'd just literally do exactly the same thing. Look left, see what it's tapped into. Because obviously it might be tapping into something, and I don't know why it keeps doing that. Like I say, it's heavily bearish on that, but it might be tapping into something to reverse from. So obviously we get into something over here that's really starting to look a bit nice, to be fair. So probably something down there or thereabouts. Oh wait, look on there 1 second. That's a bit far. Let's just try and zoom left a bit. It's probably going to seem a bit of a tedious life for some of you, to be fair, but
mate, to be honest, this is super useful.
yeah, well, I mean, it's not always pretty. Do you know what we're doing and marking up? Obviously, this is a longer process than what I'd be doing it in a live situation, because I can't move me back and me replay bar, because it'll knack up the rest of it'll jump back to the original live position. So I'm having to trot around a bit here, but yeah, let me go that far back. not to worry. I'll just leave it somewhere around there, because I'm assuming there'll be a decent imbalance fill in there anyway. But yeah, same again. Obviously, with this Asia session, I mean, if it starts filling imbalances up here again, and then I'd look for a sell down at least to somewhere around this sort of like line anyway. So I'll play a few candles first. If it starts coming up, I'll start looking at the imbalance fills as the sort of playing out, because I might be marking them for not needing to. And I suppose that is a bit of the beauty of trading like this. Sometimes you can sort of see a reaction because we're waiting for a change of character. Usually, you can often see that this line bottom, this low here you can draw a line on it like I have and go and check what it's bounced into, and then you could almost go if it breaks above here, then that would be you change your character and you take a buy from here, which is possibly actually played out, but obviously I ain't gone to see what it's tapped into because I think it'll come a touch lower. I will just see what it's tapping into it up there though. So I'm always generally trying to find the highest imbalance fill if I'm looking for sells. So I'd definitely be looking for it to come and fill that if I was looking for it to continue down anyway. Something like that. I don't really see much else. Maybe up here. Definitely that, whatever that was. Definitely that, because that's huge. So yeah, I wouldn't want to be taking sells unless it fills that higher one anyway. They might become targets or something, I guess, down the line. This is going higher, I think, at the minute. So where's my lines? We've got a decent build-up of liquidity happening down here. Across there, equal highs, possible trend lines as well. Trend line there as well. So this very much could now sweep these two. I'd like it to say fill this imbalance, I guess, but we'll see. I'm a big fan of liquidity. Obviously, it's a major part of the market, so you can use it obviously as targets to end your trade or possibly to start your trades. Obviously, it might sweep into an imbalance fill in here as well, but we'll see. I'll play it by ear anyway and see what happens. Right, so it's filled that imbalance. At this sort of stage, obviously this is the sort of like low area. I would be at least looking for it to sort of come above this wick here. Little mini break structure. Just delete that blue line so you can see it. So I'd be looking for it to come above this little green line here. If it continues further down, then that would sort of void the trade for me because obviously to the left I don't know what, I ain't looked further left than the current imbalance that it's sort of doing. Yeah, no trade. But obviously, I know obviously it's getting a bit boring, but this imbalance fill along here that I marked, obviously you can see it started to react out, and obviously I was wanting a break above this green line here. So a lot of people obviously just get in on the fill of an imbalance. So I always say it's good practice to wait for a break to the upside on this one, because it will keep you out of bad trades more often than not. So I always advise waiting for something like that. I'll start pushing on with the time frame a bit. Let's see. So I've just read your question, Brett, mate. New videos I'll be aiming for within the next couple of weeks, mate. I'd like to have them done for the November meetup, mate, really. But what I wanted, I need to get everything sort of like written down in order and things like that, because I want it to make sense for everybody, and so I want to get everything right and not confuse anybody. So I would say for the meetup, mate, if that's my aim at the minute anyway.
Sound.
No worries, mate. So that one there's looks to have probably filled an imbalance there. So we might well be within a shout here of a trade. So obviously it's filled this imbalance. I've not gone to the lowers, but I'll assume for the sake of the video that it's about filled where we want it. So I'd be looking for, we might have already got it, to be fair. I'd prefer it to break that line. It's filled this one. It's taken that one there. So if I mean it's probably a valid change of character. It's a little bit tight, but from here I'd be jumping on the seconds charts and trying to find a decent imbalance fill from here. So it might have been just played out to be fair from here. That one looks nice. So there's this one here. Yeah, I think that'll be the one. Been a bit keen with the replay button there. So obviously you've got this decent imbalance here. So we've had a possible change of character up here. Up there, breaks that there. This is probably the lowest. This candle here, I'll just zoom in a bit so you guys can see it. If you look at this candle, it's all body. It's a decent sized push as well. We're on the 15 seconds, so for someone to move nearly 4 pips in 15 seconds is a big push. I know JPYs can move quite quick, but there's nothing lower that I can sort of spot. So that's still full anyway. So yeah, it's that would have probably should have been the entry that I was sort of like looking at. And as you can see, it fills that into there, and then three and a half pips. Generally allow a pip for spreads and things like that. And then obviously we'd be at that point I would be looking for targets to aim for. So obviously we've got bits of imbalance up here. Imbalance to fill there. These huge imbalances here as well, which I would think it would want to target. So TP would be, first one would be about there. Depending on what how comfortable you are, obviously you'd want to maybe take it up to that 18 odd. I mean, it might totally wipe it out, to be fair, but it's pretty much done everything I'd want it to at that point. So I'm just going to take it out, I think. Yeah, would have been a loss. Not to worry. Just pause that a sec, see what it did reach. Still reached a 1 to 4. Nothing too shabby. Obviously, I mean, like I say, this was my preferred change of character line anyway. It didn't take it, so I'd have been at least half risk than normal anyway. Is what it is. It's going to happen. Still, obviously, targets below. Change axle. Change to the 5-minute again. So back to the drawing board. Left. Nope, don't want that. Yeah, so my next sort of area I'd want it to come and fill is somewhere down here. To be fair, this is a nice little area here as well. So this here takes this low here, possible liquidity under here, sweep, break the structure. So I'm assuming this is somewhere close to where it's actually wanting to aim for if it does decide it wants to turn around for buys. Obviously, if price is coming down, I'm generally looking for buys. Obviously, assuming that the higher time frame is overall bullish. But if not, obviously, if price was to come up here and start filling imbalances anyway, I'll then be looking for sells. So 5-minute again. chill out. Fucking hell. Yeah, not quite reached that imbalance that I wanted, but as you can see, these imbalances that are marked here for TP areas, it's started to get reactions off of them as well. So it just shows the importance of imbalances, especially on sort of like the real lower time frame sort of stuff. It can be super powerful at times. I'm just going to look left here just to see if I've missed any imbalance that it might be reacting out of as well. So it looks like it's tapped into all this here, but if I remember rightly, this imbalance here is the real big one that I'd want to fill in. So yeah, I think that's just made part of a trend line. Obviously, there's imbalance here that I would definitely want to fill in. If it fills that and turn around, I'd be happy with that one. This is a huge, something's gone on there. I don't know what. So yeah, carry on at that. Do 1 minute. We're up there, aren't we? Oh, I might have filled that one actually. So obviously it's filled that big imbalance here, so it looks like it's just about to actually break this low here, change of character here. There, just filled it. So again, I'd be happy to take a sell from there. So straight again to the sort of 15 seconds just now to find the highest imbalance to be filled. Obviously we start getting real big pressure from this candle here. So a huge bit of imbalance there to fill. Imbalance. Possibly a tiny bit in here to fill. So I don't think it'll want to go higher. I'm just going to drop the time frame just because I just want to break down these couple of areas a touch more. So at the minute, possible zones for an entry of this. Something like that. That might get reduced in a minute. And then this is also possibly an entry. I'm going to drop down to the 5 just to try and work this out a bit better because that's too many to look at. So something like that. I'm not keen on this middle one now. I don't like all this. You know, these little candles here. I don't think that's anything for me to care about. Also, this might squeeze it. There, that might be a little bit of imbalance there. I'll just turn that green. I'll leave it as. And then I'm not too fussed by that, I don't think. Again, all these little candles, wicks. Definitely me entry, I think, at this point would be this, off of this big imbalance fill here. Like I say, it might come up and fill high into this zone here, because this might be a tiny bit in here, but definitely the buying pressure starts from the bottom of this candle here. So at that point, I'd be more than happy to stick a pending on at that. Do that. So about 5 pips again. do 6 just to be safe. Do it that. And then same again, targets below. We'll be looking for fills below. So obviously there's a couple of little bits, nice bits down here. So something like that would be more than capable. This imbalance fill here. Unless obviously price takes it out before coming back, which it very much might do. I think we've got equal lows here as well. Lows, that's a possible target as well if you was to be brave enough to hold that long. I mean, I wouldn't imagine you would be anything near close holding to that if you was more than 15 hour up at this point. But yeah, that would be pending on for me at that point. So it's right below this one here. So we're going to keep a higher one. Yeah, absolutely knocked me again. Typical, innit?
At least it's realistic.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your general win rate on these kind of trades, Lee?
So for the last sort of 2 months, just under 2 months, I've lost 2 trades out of 9, I think it is. So 7. Yeah, pretty much 75-ish% win rate at the minute. But I don't normally trade JPY pairs. So
Yeah, sure, it's cool.
yeah, it's like I normally only stick to the like say EU and GU. So
yeah. But usually your win multiple's pretty high, yeah?
yes, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
The least, I think the least risk reward I've taken recently is like a 1 to 7 or a 1 to 9. So
Yeah.
I have actually, because I started a self-funded. I only put 250 quid in an account, and I peaked over £1,000 last week. So
Right. Good job, man. Well done.
300% is that, I think.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah. So yeah, but obviously that's just from being picky. So
It's all right.
Did you what self-funded? Did you go for a spread bet or
no,
pro
just
account?
it was just an IC markets account, mate. I didn't. What I'm obviously because I'm after such tight entries. The spreads are more important to me than anything. So the spread
I think-
bettings.
But oh really? Oh, spread betting's a bit different, is it?
Yeah, so apparently, I mean, I've not looked into it properly, but I believe you get slightly worse spreads because of the
Gambling.
tax-free implications of it.
Yeah.
So
Spread betting is technically classed as gambling, isn't it? So
yeah, that's right, mate. So
yeah, okay, that's interesting.
So you might get what, a couple of trades a week, Lee?
yes, mate. Yeah, I mean, we're starting to get to the end of the Zoom session anyway, but obviously I'll show you what I've been doing on EU and GU anyway, just so you all don't think I'm just full of shit and
No, of course not,
lying.
man. Yeah, no. Don't be daft. We know it works, mate. We know you're successful.
Just break this.
We're all full of shit, Lee.
Yeah.
Have you still got your fivers as well?
Yes, mate. Yeah, I've sort of curbed it a little bit though. So
Yeah.
because I'm trading more like this, I struggle at the minute with time for marking that up. So I can do this in the morning while I'm at work, whereas my other system takes a couple of hours on an evening. If I get a couple of days without looking at it, I sort of fall back, and it takes hours for me to catch up. So I'm just parking it to the side for now until till I stop work. So yeah.
What's your goal for stopping then? Like, when are you thinking? When are you going to try? Christmas.
I mean, no, it'll be next year now. I'm hoping sort of like mid next year I'll be
Oh,
able to
cool.
stop. But to be honest, mate, I don't even know if I don't know if I'll actually fully stop. What I
No,
think
but a
I'll
couple
maybe,
days, hopefully.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not like I'm not sort of like disciplined enough to think that I'll just be able to stay at home all day and look at charts. I'll end up just becoming a lazy fat piece of shite, to be fair, mate. So
And I think it actually gets like the loneliness and the boredom as well.
yeah, yeah. So I don't think I'll ever fully give it up.
No.
I'll maybe just take on only the nice jobs.
Yeah. The small but nice ones.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And even if one lasts for a week, it's fine. Doesn't really matter.
well,
Just-
that's it, man. I
just-
like making wardrobes and things, so
Oh yeah,
you know,
nice.
so yeah, I'll take them ones on instead. So
What you mean out of what from MDF? You mean?
well, I mean, I've got a little workshop, so
Oh,
I'm
nice.
MDF, MFC, make doors. I've got a spray booth in my workshop as well, so I
Oh,
can
have you?
spray
Oh, get on,
yeah,
mate.
spray finish it all and that. So
Oh, sweet, mate. That I wanted to do that down here
yeah,
because obviously my background is carpentry, painting, and engineering.
yeah.
That's
I'm not
handy,
just a
Nolly.
painter and decorator. But yeah, that's what I wanted to do down here. Then I went up and done the training in spray granite and stuff up in Huddersfield.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I just, to be honest, I never got around to it. And I was actually going to open up a spray training centre down here in Cornwall,
Yeah,
but I
nice.
just never got around to it. I just don't think there's going to be enough market for it. So I think I've just shied away from it and carried on with this.
Yeah, well, I imagine it's probably a saturated market now, mate. To be fair,
Yeah,
it was good. It was all right a couple of years back when it wasn't really over here properly.
yeah,
A couple of years ago, so you could
yeah.
sort of mop up with the jobs. But now everybody can go to Screwfix and buy a Air Bauer fence spray machine or something, can't they?
Oh, I know. I mean,
So,
if I was going to, but I mean, I would be talking like teach because I do spray plastering.
yeah,
There's not a lot of people. There's a few companies that do it, but obviously we're like one of the only companies here in Cornwall that do it. But I mean, that machine, that's a £7,000 machine.
yeah.
So and this is like internal, not the external stuff. Like so yeah, beats a finish of plaster hands down.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know. See what happens. Like, I wouldn't mind just having like a little workshop and then just doing like the carpentry and the spraying, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
I'd
that's me sort of plan, mate. Just take on them real nicer jobs and just tick over
Yeah.
with it. It gives you something to get up for in the morning, and
Yeah.
yeah, like I said,
Yeah, nice. Oh,
not
cool.
disciplined enough to not have something in the diary, mate. So,
Are the workshops expensive up that way?
I don't actually know, mate. Mine's cheap. I pay £250 a month for mine, but it's like tucked away in the middle of like an alleyway, basically, and
Oh, okay.
I think it's the cheapest one I could find, but it's ideal for me and where it is and that. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, I'll just keep that on, and obviously if trading goes well enough, I'd like to buy the place, to be honest. But
Turn it into a little trading shack.
yeah, I have a little trading shack and sex dungeon tucked away in the back.
Bitcoin just done a nice sweep at 8:30 today. 8:30 this evening.
So
Yeah.
I'll stop this now anyway, because this is I'll put it down to a bad practice session. But we'll I'll not pick a JPY pair next time. Cheers, Kev. So
You're welcome, mate. Just saves me having to backtest it.
that's it, mate. Yeah. It's to be fair, mate. Even my own normal system I pretty much avoid JPY pairs anyway. So it's yeah, I should have said no. But...
So trading these imbalances and order blocks, Lee.
Yes, mate. Yeah.
It's not a lot different to what a lot of people are doing, except you're doing it on a much more tighter time frame. But the general principle is basically the same as what a lot of people do, isn't it? Is that fair?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, mate. So obviously, supply and demand, your bankers and smart money, Wyckoff as well. They're all very, Wyckoff. Everything's Wyckoff, but they're all very similar, mate. Because I mean, if you think about it, there's only so much information you can take from the market and the price action that's printed in front of you. So, and obviously, just looking at the information we can take away just from a general chart is something big happened here.
Yeah,
you can see liquidities, and that's sort of about it. And time and price, obviously. And then obviously you start to see patterns like, so obviously these equal highs was swept. So this is your sweep here, break of structure, mitigation.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's only obviously there's loads of ways that people do trade it, but
there's no way on earth I'm ready to start doubling into 15-second time frames. But broadly, this should work on a higher time frame. It just won't be so precise. Yeah.
To be honest, Matt, I think that you will be kind of ready to start going into smaller time frames. All you got when you find an imbalance and or say like a high or a liquidity sweep, you mark it up, like do a horizontal ray, and then chase it back to where that horizontal ray is. Go into the 1 minute. Oh look, there is a bit of liquidity there, or sometimes there just isn't. But then you start going on to the 30 seconds, the 10 seconds, and you can actually find that there might be a little bit of liquidity, and then that's kind of like you're pinpointing your area of entry.
Right.
Just
it's getting more precision on the entry and the exit.
Yeah. Would you say that's right, Lee?
Yes, mate. So
something like that.
Yeah. So I know people freak out about the seconds imbalance or the seconds time frames, but I'm only using it at the point of I use it to look for imbalances to be filled to then find an entry from.
Yeah.
Or I'm using it to get a tight entry. So I mean, I would always say your stop loss should always remain in the same position that you would have, even if you was looking at the 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm of the belief that so obviously there's an entry from this one here. Obviously, so there's a trend line here, then manipulation. So that's your sweep here.
Yeah.
And then obviously it starts breaking to the downside here. So it breaks below here. All I'm saying is that this order block here, with there's obviously, I'll jump down to the 10 and 5 in a sec, but there'll be an imbalance in here just below this.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that I think it wants to fill this imbalance here, and then it wants to turn around and do its thing, go to its target. So it's not. I know others would go, right, you'd mark it from here to here, and that would be your entry. I'm just saying, like, because I jump into the 15 seconds sometimes, I could pretty much spot the point in which it will reverse from, if it does, obviously.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. I get it. I mean, I like how basically if you took away the time frame off the chart, you couldn't tell.
Yeah, no, that's it, mate. Yeah, that's exactly it. So obviously you see here, obviously a bit of imbalance in here, possibly higher than that actually, probably to there. I'll see what it says in the 5. I'd have marked it for a reason, so yeah, don't quite go as high. You can see there, but
and obviously when you're trading on this time frame, you've got to have a pending because you can't set it quick enough, can you?
No. So yeah, obviously it reacts from sort of like this little order block here. It's better on the 15, but
Jesus, look at that, man. 5 seconds imbalance.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Good on you, man. That's cool.
But yeah, like I say, I've had good success with it. It's not something I worry about. So
yeah, banger. Well done.
Yeah, but
so this is what we were talking about the other day. I reckon all this kind of billing is done by algorithm. It's not done by.
Yeah, I would tend to agree, mate.
Yeah,
I would very much tend to agree. I'm not fully convinced on it, but I'm definitely on the side of the fact that it's practically done by computer. Because even
too neat, isn't it? It's too neat.
So I mean, yeah, very neat sometimes. So I'll try and find a decent, because I mean I'm a huge fan of trend lines that are super clean, and I mean super clean.
Yeah,
I very rarely accept anything that's a little bit on the sloppy side. So like I like 3 perfect touches. Like if one was poking through by half a pip or something, it's not good enough for me.
Yeah.
So you start seeing all these here.
It's especially these diagonal ones. I can understand how like a horizontal trend line is done by people. That's just the pending orders. But it's the diagonal ones. And I had one, what was it on? Ethereum the other day. It was quite diagonal and it had 5 touches.
Yeah.
Right. And you go, that's not coincidence. Right?
Yeah.
It was on the 5 minutes, so maybe it wasn't super precise, but on the 5 minute, it was spot on. And you go, there's something going on there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about it, like by the time the big boys place their order doesn't go in because of the size of it. I would like to think that the order doesn't happen at the click of a finger because it's got a process. It's got to collect the orders, make sure that it can do they can have that sizing sort of thing.
Yeah.
So obviously if you're trying to sell, you need a buyer to take it to counteract your sort of the order. So if they're placing orders like to get perfect trend lines and things like that, it'd be nearly impossible, especially if price is moving as they're trying to do this order. So
my understanding is they don't place single big orders; they split them up.
Yeah, well, that's obviously, that's obviously comes with like obviously Wyckoff. They're trying to distribute orders or collect orders, but trying to do it without being spotted by the masses. But obviously that's why we're here trying to work out where they're doing it, because obviously this is a Wyckoff move in reality.
Yeah.
This would be your ST phase B, I think. So you got signs of weaknesses. Obviously this is your mitigation, sell off. So you're getting off the mitigation of this one here, which obviously it did. So I think this is my main system, to be fair. I don't think that one was when are we? September. Let people wait now. No, so this section here is a Wyckoff, mate, and all these downs are trying to convince the general masses to get in early so they can take everybody's with this, sweep everyone out, and then get out them, sell off themselves and make all their money. But I mean, we're not getting into Wyckoff too much here. Start fights.
Not with me. I don't care. Anything that works, I don't care.
Yeah. Right, I'll call it there, guys. All right.
Thanks, Lee. Cheers, mate.
Boys. If there's any questions, guys, chuck us them over, and I'll do my best. All right.
Cheers, mate. Have a lovely evening.
Cheers, mate.
Bye. Thanks all.
Cheers, mate.